welcome to a new video and another collab. So me and GinovaSims had the idea to do a building collab, and this video has been actually in the works for a little bit but I've just been super busy and I have like 5 hours of footage, but here it is. And to preface this whole thing, we chose to each build a shell of a house that was very our style. So I decided to build a modern open plan family house, and then G decided to go with a more traditional, big, closed off, lots of rooms, traditional house. And after making the shells, we then switched them, so the other one would furnish the other one's build. So I am furnishing G's build and G is furnishing mine. And here you can see a little snippet of my build, and this is the build that I built for G to furnish. So if you want to see this, you can go ahead and watch that video on G's channel. I have it linked down in the description. And so now I'm just gonna let G explain her process with her shell.
Hi everyone, G here. I've been so excited to do this collab with Izu when we found out that our build styles are quite different. And I really enjoyed building this shell for her. And I'm really intrigued to see the shell that she's made for me. But I'm here just to talk a little bit about the shell that I have actually built and the house style that we have kind of gone for. So we found out that I cannot build or furnish open plan houses for the life of me, and Izu is the complete opposite, and she can only do open planned and she can't do separated rooms, whereas that is all I do. I have to separate the rooms. So we thought it would be fun if we built houses for each other and just push ourselves to furnish the houses in styles that we aren't completely used to. And I'm obviously from the UK, and we don't really have many open plan houses. Like, there will be some, but we just don't really have many, so it's not anything I'm used to. So it's going to be a real challenge furnishing the house that Izu has built for me. And we also decided to up the challenge a little bit by making sure that we only used one expansion pack, one game pack, and one stuff pack, and obviously base game as well. We picked the packs for each other that we thought that the other may not use as often, or that we also just kind of thought would fit the style of the house that we're going for. So for this shell that I'm building and the packs that Izu can use to furnish the house, we have used Get Together, Realm of Magic, and Nifty Knitting. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about my choices for this shell. So I wanted to do a decent sized family home to like really push Izu. So I like to give my homes like little entry spaces, and then usually a corridor with stairs, and the different rooms coming off this corridor, which is what I did here. And sometimes I'll have separate kitchen dining rooms, but sometimes I combine them as one. It's quite interchangeable. And with this house, I decided to combine them just because that's how I thought the floor plan looked the best. And then upstairs, we've got a few bedrooms, and none of them are really like that big. And I don't know why I do this, but I usually make houses that have more bedrooms that are quite small as opposed to fewer bedrooms that are quite big. And also I think I've made space for like 3 bathrooms, which seems like quite a lot, but it's a big house. There'll be a lot of Sims living here. And one of the bathrooms is actually shared between 2 bedrooms. Obviously, Izu can decorate this shell however she wants to, but that's the sort of like ideas I had in mind when I was actually building. I had a lot of fun figuring out the roofing for this house actually. Like, the little front porch was a little bit challenging, but in the best sort of way. Like, I had fun putting it together. It's like kind of like a puzzle, you know, making it work. And I think it turned out quite nicely actually. And there's a huge garden to the side of the house. So I'm really intrigued to see how Izu is going to furnish this. And honestly, how she's going to do the whole house. Because I was building it and I was like, I'd quite like to furnish this myself actually. But obviously the challenge is to let Izu decorate it how she would like to, in the sort of like separated space. I don't really know what it's called, like the opposite of open plan, just like the separated rooms that are kind of all offset from each other. But anyway, that's it from me, and I will hand back to Izu now, where she will be furnishing this shell. If you would like to check out me furnishing the shell that Izu has built for that part of the collab, then that will be over on my channel. So I really hope to see you all there.
Alright, so this is the build that she made. Thank you so much, G, for making an awesome house. We agreed to not make any changes to the outside of the house, like to the wallpapers and stuff like that, and not to really change any of the rooms. I did make a little tiny changes to the rooms, like pushing a wall in or out, but in general the rooms are in place and look the same, and the house looks like shell wise looks the same. This was a really challenging build to furnish. First of all, it's huge. I don't usually do houses this big, or if I do, they are open plan, so they have a lot of like negative space, like free space. So this was really hard actually, and I furnished it I think in one go because I was determined to get it done, and it took me like 5 hours or something like that. It took me a one whole day to do this, and I kept going back and forth on what I was gonna do. Like, for example, the kitchen was really tough. I wanted to go with like colorful, really warm tiles, but then none of the more traditional looking countertops and cupboards really suit it, so I went with the black, which is not necessarily the best, but I went with it anyway, and it is fine. And other thing was that it was really hard to fill the spaces. Like, the rooms were so big that it took me a while to make them look furnished and fully like lived in, and I don't know, homely, I guess. And I mean that in a like a homey, and I know homely means something else in some places. Anyways, it took me a while, but I got there. I did get there, and I am really happy with this house. I still am not super content in some of the areas. For example, the living room is still a little bit, I'm not entirely happy with it, but it is what it is. Some of the rooms are more nice than the others, I guess. But I had a lot of fun building and cluttering it up. I was thinking this family was like a bigger family of spellcasters, but in like modern times. So I built the house a little bit like magically, if that makes any sense. So in these like little details and decorations and stuff like that, I used the Realm of Magic pack, and there are like the wand packs or shelves, I don't know what to call them, but the things like the little boxes you store your wand. And yeah, just the overall vibe is quite magical, but in a normal everyday modern way. I don't know if I'm making any sense. And I also decided to go with a family of Sims, so there are stuff for kids. I have 3 bedrooms for kids, so 2 of them have adult size or teen sized beds. I think kids also share that same bed. Anyways, like normal beds on 2 of them. One of them is a double bed and the other one is a single bed. One of the rooms is for a smaller child. I also asked you on Twitter, at least the ones of you that follow me on Twitter, I asked you if you in general like to see the bathrooms in building videos, or if you prefer only one or some of them or none at all. And surprisingly, the answer was that you'd like to see all of them. So I included all the bathrooms, even the ones that I wasn't really focusing on, and I think I did not include one actually, because one of the bathrooms I made it really nice and I loved how it looked, and just overall like I loved the vibe. It was the main bedroom, like the master bedroom ensuite, but then I realized that we have at least 4 Sims living in this house, maybe more. This could be an 8 Sim household easily. So with that amount of Sims, there's no way a bath and 1 shower would be enough for all of the Sims. So I decided that I needed to include the showers in them as well. And I did not know this, but showers only open on one side, all of them. And that is so annoying, because like, what if you wanted to have the shower on the left side of the bathroom? showers in The Sims have at least one like wall tile. They're not all glass. So yeah, that didn't work, and I didn't realize that we only have showers that go against the right side of the room. So yeah, I needed to scrap that bathroom and make it again, and for whatever reason I could not make it look nice. Like, it does not look good, but at least there is another shower, so it worked out. But I just didn't want to include it because I just did not like it. I also did not really enjoy the living room. I know I did spend a lot of time making it, and some of the things I really like the little office nook that I came up with. I was struggling with it because of the shape of the living room. It's quite an interesting shape, and I did want to include an office. However, I did not want to take up another room like for a bedroom. I wanted all of the rooms upstairs to be bedrooms, so that way I needed some way to include an office, and that was the best I came up with. And I really like it. I think it looks good. I really like it. It looks interesting and I like it. But the living room part of the room where the sofas are and the seating just is a little awkward. I do agree. I don't know if you agree with me, but in my opinion, I would probably change some things. But after making all of this and spending 5 hours on this build, I just could not be bothered to do it again, and it's fine. I think what most bothers me is the placement of the armchairs, because they are kind of back against nothing on the other side. At least one of the chairs is. So I just feel like there's not enough support for that, and also the bookcases aren't that accessible. So I think that's where the problem lies, but I just couldn't find a better way for another sofa or seating. And the Sims need more than one sofa. There's gonna be a lot of Sims in this house, so I really needed another seating. So that's what I came up with. And I also had the fireplace, so that was blocking one of the places. There's no point of adding another sofa back against the fireplace. That kind of defeats the whole purpose. And there wasn't enough space for a sofa and armchairs against the back of the sofa, so I couldn't do that either. So everything is kind of all over the place in the living room. I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's passable, it's fine. And if you want to download this build and don't like it, or don't like another room or any of the rooms, I don't know, whatever you want to do with it, it's fine. You can change whatever you want to. And that said, this build and my shell of the build I built for G are on my gallery. My gallery ID is just Izuaurora, and I'm assuming and hoping that my build that I built for G is gonna be on her gallery furnished, and then this house that I'm now furnishing, the shell of this house will be up on the gallery on G's gallery. So if you're interested, you can find them over there. And also, to make matters even easier, I have a Patreon that if you're interested, you can check that out. I try to remember to post my Sims and my builds tray files on my Patreon, so if you want to download this build that I'm now furnishing, you can go ahead and get that from my Patreon, the tray files. So you don't have to even go to the gallery to look for one. You can just add it straight into your game. I really liked decorating the kids' bedrooms. I didn't have really an idea of like who would be there, but I had the idea of what they would like. So one of the rooms is very pink, very feminine, and the vibe is very just overall cute. And for that sim, I decided to go a little bit Victorian vibes, kind of, I don't know. And they do music and crafts, and I was thinking they would be like a teen or a child maybe. And then the other more adult room is for somebody who I think was gonna be like a teen or a young adult still living at home, so it's more mature, but there's a lot of music and art elements. There's an easel and a lot of paintings framed on the wall and on the, like, just leaning on the wall. I love those paintings. So that room is more for like a mature child, I guess. It doesn't have to be a child. I really enjoyed making those and coming up with some like personality for them. And then I made the child's room, which is like space and animal themed. I really like that one, and it's more neutral, so there aren't too many colors going on, and I really like that about it. Bedroom upstairs for like the parent or parents, whatever. I went kind of all out. The whole house is very planty. I did add like a million plants. No, I'm not even sorry for that. I thought that would be a given. If it's a spellcaster family, then obviously they're probably gonna have a lot of plants and life in the house, so I did want to add that. But the bedroom upstairs for the parents, I'm just gonna say it's for the parents, that's what I was envisioning. It's very green. It's full of plants and it's also very green, and the wallpaper is quite garish, but I really like that about it. Like, it's a lot. It definitely is a lot, but there's just some kind of vibe to it that I really liked and decided to just go for it. And I really don't like that we get these awesome wallpapers that are a lot, like they're super out there and they're beautiful, but then nothing goes with them. Like this one, for example, with the leaves on it, it's so pretty, and it actually has some plain swatches with only the wood. I forgot what the name of it is, but the wood on the half of the wall, but it's not with all of the background colors. So there are a couple of the different leaves on a different like plain background, like a light green or a light beige, I don't know, but the plain swatches don't have all the colors, and it's such a shame. And it really is annoying when you want to have the same color of the background but then have one wall, like an accent wall with some wall mural type of wallpaper like these leaves. And yeah, that kind of bothered me, but in the end I decided to just go for it and use it on every wall. And I know it's a lot and it's definitely not for everyone, but I thought it would be a fun change and something I rarely do. I usually don't go with like a maximalist style. That's not something I often do, so I was thinking like, why not? Why the heck not? So that's what I did, and I'm quite happy with it. I actually like that room a lot. And then I moved on with the yard. I usually don't really pay attention to the yards. Like, I do, but not on this extent. I did a lot on this backyard or side yard, I guess, and I had a lot of fun. I decided to keep the fence where it was. I decided to go with what G had built, and I just added some places for plants and a lot of plants again, and also a little area for like dinners and such. And I really like the backyard. I went with a very natural, kind of like an ordinary family yard, in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but something that a normal quote-unquote person would do, like not an actual gardener, just a person that liked plants would do. Anyways, I really liked the yard. I think it came out really nice and inviting, and I especially loved the little corner where I put like these more orangey plants and some sunflowers and stuff, and a little bird feeder. That part is my favorite. And I also went with a big table. I decided to go with 2 tables to make it for like a lot of Sims. I can't even count quickly how many Sims, but I decided to go with a big tables because I was thinking like they probably have like a, is it convent? Witch convent? Is that the right word? I forgot what it is called, but you know what I mean, like a group of people, of witches and warlocks and whatever spellcasters that kind of belong to the same family but not actually in the family. Like they're not related to each other, not necessarily at least. I think it's a comment, but that could be something else. I'm sorry if I'm not right. Anyways, you hopefully know what I mean. So I was thinking that they probably have some like magical dinners or something, I don't know. So I decided to go with a long table for a lot of Sims to accompany everyone. And they also have a big family probably, so at least there's space for everyone. And then there's this little side like wooden deck next to the house, which is like a terrace-y bit kind of. So that's more like a little family place if they want to just have breakfast outside or grill something, I don't know. Something chill and not so grand as the big tables. And then I also added a little picnic table, so there's a lot of places to sit and chill and have a nice family dinner, or a dinner with all these witches that they have invited over. I don't know. Anyways, I really loved the yard, and overall I really enjoyed building something out of my comfort zone. That was the whole point of this collab, so kind of a given. But still, I really enjoyed trying to come up with different like styles and different personalities for these Sims and furnishing these different rooms. And it took me a while actually to figure out what I would do with the house, because as I said, I'm not used to building big houses like these with many rooms. And at first I felt a little, not unmotivated, but a little overwhelmed. I guess that's a better way to say it, because there was just so much I needed to do. But I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad G built a house like this, because it was really pushing me to do something different, and I really loved this collab for that. And I hope you're enjoying the house that I'm furnishing. We haven't seen the houses yet. I think we're gonna just watch the video itself, so we have no idea what the house looks like once the other has furnished it. And I'm really curious to know what G thinks, and also how different her view would have been. Like, am I building this very differently, or did we have a similar idea how these are gonna go, or how did she imagine this house versus my version? So I'm really excited to see what she thinks. And then we have the finished build. The walkthrough, I'm gonna warn you guys, is gonna take a little long. I'm sorry, but I really wanted to focus on each room and each part of the house, because it took me so freaking long to complete this house. So I really wanted to show you everything I did, and it's easier when you are inside the house to see everything how it's supposed to be. And I really liked it. I really like the house. I think it has a different vibe that I usually go with, and I really like that about it. And now I kind of want to make this a little, but not so little, like 6 people spellcaster family. I don't know. Let me know if you actually want me to do that. But I enjoyed this collab so much. Thank you so much to GinovaSims for doing this with me. This was such a fun idea to kind of swap builds to make something you're comfortable with, but then also making something outside of your comfort zone. So that served as well, and I'm so freaking excited to see how she did mine. It's probably gonna be very different to what I would have come up with. As I said, if you want to see the build I did for G and her furnishing it, go ahead and watch that video. It'll be on her channel. I hope you're having a lot of fun and enjoying these little collab videos. I don't often do collabs, but this year I'm trying to do more because they're super fun and you come up with different ideas and different things that you wouldn't normally do, and that's kind of the whole point of doing something together. But yeah, I really enjoyed my pride flag collab with amazing creators, and G was also one of them. Now this one. So, and by the way, if you're not familiar with GinovaSims, I don't know how, but if you're not, in case you're not, you should definitely go subscribe to her channel, because she makes amazing let's plays She has multiple Let's Plays that are so much fun, and there's the drama in their families are always like chef's kids. And now that you've watched her build this build as well, go ahead to the other video and just comment that she should make other build videos, like definitely. I don't really have much else to talk about anymore, so instead I will let you enjoy the walkthrough. And as I said, all the links that I've mentioned and everything else, including G's channel and her video, will be in the description. If you enjoyed this collab, if you enjoyed this video and me furnishing G's house, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you've come over from her channel or from somewhere else and want to see more of my videos, go ahead and subscribe and join the family. I swear it will be worth it. We have a good group of people here. Thank you so much for watching, and again, thanks G for having this, for doing this collab with me. And I hope all of you will have a wonderful day or night and week or weekend whenever you're watching this video. And I will see you in my next video.